My name is Sarah. I am 33 years old and I am the mother of three wonderful daughters, Lily, Mia, and Chloe. They are the center of my universe, the reason I breathe. I love them more than words can express. My life has been a long, uphill battle. I lost my own mother when I was just a girl, and the man I married, the father of my children, left when our youngest, Chloe, was still an infant. He simply vanished. No calls, no support, not a single letter. It was as if we never existed. From that day on, I was on my own, raising three girls in a world that felt cold and indifferent. I had no family to lean on, no large house to shelter us, and certainly no savings to fall back on. We live in a small, cramped apartment in the town of Willow Creek. Every month is a race against the calendar, a frantic effort to make the rent. I worry constantly. Without a college education or specialized skills, my options were painfully limited. But I am not a person who breaks easily. I possess a quiet strength. I refuse to surrender. I found work as a cleaner. I don't work for a company. I am entirely on my own. Each month, I search for new clients, homes, and offices that need a deep clean. I carry my own buckets, mops, and cleaning solutions from job to job. My days are long, often bleeding late into the night. I scrub floors on my hands and knees, I disinfect bathrooms, I haul out heavy bags of trash. The people I work for are a mixed bag. Some are kind and offer me a glass of water. Others are dismissive and rude. A few have even refused to pay me for my hard work, but I keep going. I clean because my daughters need to eat. They need warm clothes for the winter. They need a roof over their heads. I work when my body aches with exhaustion. I work through fevers and colds. I work when all I want to do is sit down and weep. Sometimes, late at night, I stand by their beds and watch them sleep. They look so innocent, so peaceful. Their beauty takes my breath away. I gently touch their little hands and kiss their foreheads, whispering, "I love you." My deepest desire is to give them a life filled with opportunity and happiness. A life with all the things I never had. But reality is a harsh teacher. One bitter evening, I was walking my daughters home after finishing a late job. The weather was brutal. A dark, starless sky wept a cold, heavy rain. The sidewalks were slick with a thin layer of ice. Lily, my eldest, held my hand in a tight grip. Mia and Chloe huddled close behind me. "Mama, I'm cold," Chloe whimpered, her voice small. She was only 5. "I know, my love," I said, my heart aching. "We'll be home in a minute." I pulled her closer, wrapping my thin scarf around her small neck. The street was eerily silent, bathed in the dim glow of distant streetlights. I held my daughter's hands as if my life depended on it, my own hands trembling with a nervous chill. Then, in an instant, the world exploded. A blinding light, a deafening screech of tires, a shattering impact and a wave of excruciating pain. Then only darkness. When I regained consciousness, the first thing I saw was a stark white ceiling. The air smelled of antiseptic, and a steady beeping sound filled my ears. I was in a hospital. I tried to push myself up, but a fiery pain shot through my body. My head felt like it was filled with lead. My arms were useless, and then the memory of the accident crashed down on me. My daughters, where were my daughters? I tried to call their names. Lily, Mia, Chloe. My voice was a dry, painful rasp. A nurse with a gentle face hurried to my side. She offered a soft smile. "Try not to move too much," she said calmly. "You were in a serious accident." "My girls," I whispered, the words tearing at my throat. "Where are my girls?" She patted my hand. "They're right here. They are safe." Relief washed over me in a flood of tears. "I need to see them." A few minutes later, the door creaked open and 3 small figures burst into the room. "Mama!" they cried, their voices a symphony of fear and love. They scrambled onto the bed, hugging me, holding my hands, kissing my tear-streaked face. I sobbed, holding them as tightly as my injured body would allow. Later, the doctor entered. His expression was grave. He delivered the bad news. "You have a severely broken leg," he explained. "It will require surgery and a long period of recovery." Panic seized me. "But I have to work," I pleaded. "I have rent to pay. I have to feed my children." The doctor's face softened with pity. "You need to rest," he insisted. Then a new wave of horror washed over me. The cleaning equipment I had borrowed from a friend was completely destroyed in the accident. And the worst part, as I fell, I had crashed into the large display window of a luxury boutique, shattering it. The owner was demanding $20,000 in damages. I had nothing. I was physically and financially broken. I buried my face in my hands and let out a gut-wrenching sob. My daughters clung to me, their small bodies shaking with their own tears. I was completely and utterly lost. I had no hope left. But then, the next day, something incredible happened. Someone had shared my story online. It spread like wildfire. People read about my struggle. They saw the pictures of my sweet daughters. They understood the depth of my despair. And then the kindness of strangers began to pour in. Small donations started to appear. Then one day I received a phone call. A man with a calm, deep voice spoke. "I read your story," he said. "I want to help." I was wary. "Who are you?" "You will find out soon," he replied and hung up. 2 days later, a group of people arrived at my hospital room. They carried bouquets of flowers and bags filled with warm clothes and toys for my daughters. Leading them was a young man with kind, intelligent eyes. He smiled at me, a genuine, warm smile that reached his eyes. He sat in the chair beside my bed. "You don't know me," he began, "but I feel like I know you." I was bewildered. Why would you want to help me?" He smiled again. "Because I can, and because good people deserve a little help." Tears welled up in my eyes. I don't know what to say." He placed his hand gently over mine. "You don't have to say a thing." A few days after that, the unbelievable happened. The young man, whose name was Daniel, and his team had paid all of my hospital bills in full. The crushing weight of that debt vanished, but his generosity didn't end there. One afternoon, they came and took me and my daughters to a new place. It was a house, a beautiful house with a small yard and a bright yellow door. "This is for you," Daniel said. I stared at him, then at the house, unable to process his words. I couldn't speak, I couldn't even breathe. For me," I finally whispered. "Yes," he confirmed. "You don't have to worry about rent ever again. This is your home." My knees gave out and I sank to the ground, overcome with emotion. I cried harder than I had ever cried in my life, but these were tears of gratitude. My daughters hugged me, crying with me. "Is this real, Mama?" Lily asked. "Yes, my love," I said, holding them close. "This is real. We have a home." One day, Daniel asked me, "Sarah, what is your biggest dream?" I wiped a stray tear from my cheek. "I've always wanted to open my own little bakery." He beamed. "Then let's make it happen." And he did. With his help and investment, a few months later, I opened the Daily Need. My bakery was filled with the scent of fresh bread, the sight of warm pastries, and the sound of happy customers. I was no longer a struggling cleaner. I was no longer a desperate, poor mother. I was a business owner. I was independent. I was happy. I will never forget Daniel and the incredible kindness he showed me. He didn't just give me money. He gave me back my life. He taught me a profound lesson, that there is immense goodness in this world. There are people who help for the simple reason that it's the right thing to do, and sometimes miracles are very real. My story started with nothing but hardship. Now I have everything that truly matters: a safe home, a fulfilling job, and most importantly, a happy, thriving family. My journey has been a testament to the power of hope. It's a reminder that no matter how dark the night gets, kindness can light the way. It is proof that you should always stay strong, always believe in the goodness of people, and never, ever lose faith in the possibility of a better tomorrow.